everyone, welcome to another episode of The Wellness Show by Iskandar Investment Berhad. I'm Elaine Daly, and with me here is the one and only Selina Yeop Jr. She's a public relations queen, a champion of Malaysian lifestyle, and one of the coolest people I know. Welcome to the show, Selina. How
Thank
are you?
you, Elaine.
How
You're
are
putting
you?
a lot of pressure on me, you
No
know.
lah. How have you been?
I've been well until the past few days
Okay.
because I really was suddenly all interested in reading up on what Johor is all about.
Absolutely.
I wanted to know so that I could, I could see how I could resonate with that whole.
Do you go down to Johor much?
To be honest, the last time I went there was to shop.
Oh, to JPO. Nice.
I think they've got a nice Tumi shop over there.
Ooh. Okay. We're talking about brands. We're talking to you today about branding with a purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, you know all about branding. You've made people famous, brands famous. What's your take on branding with a purpose?
I feel that everyone has got its own unique branding philosophy. So my job is basically to make them look within their own history, within their own culture, within their own, their own soul. And then you authenticate it. There is no one cookie cutter rule for branding. There's a lot of, thought process, like the trust, the logo, what is it that you want to, what are the messages you want to deliver?
Sure.
What is the brand experience?
The ethos?
Yes,
Yeah?
what is the brand experience? I was just saying that, you could buy, maybe a La Crusette, what do you call it?
Cooking utensils,
thing. Yeah, 500 ringgit a pot. But it's so heavy, then your experience is like, oh my God, so berat. And then you can buy a brand from Taobao, like 60 ringgit. And it lasts forever and you can smash it and you can, how do you then define that brand? One is, obviously the power of the name, and one is obviously the experience.
Sure.
So there's a lot that needs to be taken into consideration when I'm helping an individual or a company, an organization, a movement. A lot of consideration needs to be taken into
account.
consideration. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, when we talk about, let's say, a state like Johor, what do you think its branding philosophy is?
This state itself has got so much to be proud of. And I'm so proud to be talking about it because I've learned that Johor is probably the beginning of commerce because it had the port. It was the first Malay-owned.
Everybody knows that it was Malacca.
Yeah, but Johor actually has the first entrepot in the world.
Amazing.
So isn't that amazing? And when you look at the current Sultan, Sultan Ibrahim, I think from what has developed hundreds of years ago, I think even before the time of the empire, there was already, where commerce has already started there.
Sure.
Hundreds of years ago. And today, that legacy of moving with the, with the challenges of globalization, I mean, he's taken it, in true grit.
That's Johor's identity. I mean, in terms of branding as well, a lot of our audience here they would think, I don't need a brand, I'm just a nobody, or I'm just an office worker. What do you have to say about something like that?
No, that's not true. As far as I'm concerned, because there's no right, there's no wrong. If you look at Johor as a brand, I think it appeals to many different target audiences.
Sure.
It appeals to tourists because it's got Legoland, Medini, it's got, Desaru.
Desaru, yeah.
Yes, it appeals to investors because there's still a lot of land
Absolutely.
which you can develop, you can JV with. It's truly appealing to investors. And also, if you are talking about wanting to live, I think it's one of the most livable places in the country.
Absolutely.
Maybe in the region as well.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about how would I sell Johor or how would I sell Malaysia, I would say that warm days, warmer people. So
you've got me sold. You sold it to me. That's why you do what you do, lah. You know.
So Johor has all of that. It's got everything that
Sure.
that caters to people who want to live, people who want to visit, and people who want to invest.
But in terms of individuals themselves, do you think that everybody needs to have a brand? I mean, we do, right? In some
Of course.
form or another.
Yes. I like Jeff Bezos' famous quote. Your brand is what it is when people speak about it after you left the room.
So everybody,
everybody must, I don't like the word should, I like to say must, develop their own brand. What are you? I mean, like, Elaine, I trust you. Which is why when you asked me to come on board, I said, okay,
thank you. Really
okay, I
appreciate
trust you.
it.
I trust you, Elaine, because you're smart and you do good stuff. And I'm sure that this whole podcast is going to be reeking with style, with quality,
Aww,
and all
thank
these
you.
things. So this is your branding.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I think my branding, well, some people said, okay, they're going out with Selina. Okay, what are we going to wear today?
Yeah.
So that's my branding.
Because you've also got your own brand of clothes as well.
Absolutely.
And
right.
handbags.
Handbags,
What
yes.
is it that you don't do?
What I don't do, I don't exercise.
You should not. I'm seeing you at the gym, okay? No.
Yeah, so that's why I feel that even as individuals, we must have our own brand. It is potentially, if not already, what Hudson Yards is to New York, what the Canary Wharf is to the UK. I think there are a lot of similarities. There are also differences, but we're getting there.
Sure.
We're getting there, and if we are consistent in our branding for the development in Johor, definitely for generations to come, it's the place where people see where real value is created.
And there's culture inculcated in it as well. I mean, we're not talking only just about business or growth or whatever. There's a lot of tradition and culture that goes into it.
Yes.
So that's branding.
That's branding.
Identity.
The food.
What's your favorite?
Laksa Johor cliche, everybody likes that.
Yeah. What role does design and visual identity play in shaping trust and long-term value, especially with communities like IIB?
Consistency means stability. And when you have the good design and whatever logos and the identity they're trying to create around that development, it's not just aesthetics. It's not just about it looking good. It's not just about the beauty aspects of it. It must also fulfill criteria of being sustainable, good schools, and also livelihoods can be built around it. People can do business.
Of course.
Otherwise, why live in a place where there's no work or there's no schools for your children? So, and I think in that sense, Johor fulfills all the criteria of it being a good place to be in, and it's not superficial. It's not just a beautiful place in terms of what they market it to be. It has the depth.
Coming back to the question of personal branding.
Yes.
A lot of employees, a lot of executives who are coming out to work, they're not sure about how for themselves to be seen, how to act, how to talk, how to walk, and that's all branding.
Yes.
As a leader, what do you look for in the youth or, the people who are climbing up the ladder?
As an employer, as a leader, as someone who's seen,
Yes, absolutely.
so much. I think what I would like to see in the youth is being real. Too much of it is manufactured. Back to this word just now I used, authenticity. I think you need to be real, and not everything is not about being a projection to the world. I need to get you.
Yeah, because before hiring someone, would you check out their social media first?
I would. My advice is be careful what you put out there.
Yes.
Because once it's out there,
you can't take it back.
Just be mindful and also learn how to be yourself. I think a lot of people are so worried about being judged.
Being judged. Absolutely.
I'll speak a little bit more about fashion.
Okay.
Because I have my own fashion brand, and people, when I say, "Oh, why do you wear this?" and they say, "Oh, no, that's not me. I wouldn't wear pink. I go to the board and I have to wear black. I have to wear a suit. I can't wear this. I can't wear that." And I think women have spent all their lives trying to be on par with men. But why are you so afraid to be yourself?
To have an identity.
Yes. Because now it's all about soft power.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to elaborate a little bit about that?
You know, I think visually, how you present yourself to people, especially for the first time, is very important. I think it's too much to talk about non-verbal kind of...
I think the statistics, or rather, it was said that people judge you in the first 17 seconds of meeting you.
With how you look. If I look disoriented, if I look shabby...
You're not going to take me seriously.
You're not going to take me seriously. I mean, if I'm in fashion, I must look the part.
Of course.
I must look the part. You know, if I'm just like not bothering about my hair or how I present myself, how are you going to trust me? So again, it goes back to that branding aspect of trust.
And that would take time?
It takes time, but if you understand yourself, you understand your own history, you are there for the long run. Can I give you an example of Cartier?
Sure.
So Cartier is built around its past. You know, before there was one time when people thought Cartier is a fuddy-duddy, it's old-fashioned. But they have successfully looked back into the history. Do you know that the first wristwatch was designed by them, or the jewels, the jewelry that was worn by the royals and all that were put together by them, because it was actually all broken up, right?
Yes.
But it was then pieced together, and now Cartier is like
super happening.
But it was built way a long time ago.
So it's about trust, it's about authenticity, and it's about being real.
Yes. What I'm trying to say is so that you remain relevant for generations to come, pretty much like Johor.
Yes.
I think it's very much like a Cartier story.
Do you have any tips on, branding where our audience can take home with them after watching this show?
Look within yourself, because your soul would be the one who would lead you into the right branding package as a person.
So be yourself.
Be yourself.
Look into yourself.
Look within yourself.
Look within yourself.
And you will find the answers are all there.
Wow, that's deep, Selina. We need to have another podcast about this. But thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Wonderful.
It's always really nice to talk to you.
Remember, your brand is trust.
Trust.
Your brand is quality.
Absolutely.
So that's Elaine's branding.
Wow, already got branding already.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.